The following footage is certified PG. Pretty great.
It's Anomaly Presents with your friends, the Podcastronauts.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural. Perhaps. Baloney. Perhaps not.
Hello and welcome to the Anomaly Presents podcast. I'm leaving that in there forever. I love it so much.
Forever.
It's
us.
It's
so
us.
much.
But like 100% baloney. 100% supernatural and baloney.
Always.
Another t-shirt idea. 1 second.
Yep.
Exactly. God, I would wear the shit out of that shirt.
Yep.
So welcome. This is Anomaly Presents, the podcast about the genre movies that inspired the Genre Film Festival, the Anomaly Film Festival in Rochester, New York, this year, November 6th through 10th at the Little Theater in beautiful Rochester, New York. Also, we have a little pit stop over at the Dryden Theater. They're letting us come and muck up the joint for a night.
Cheer the curtain rising. That's why.
Yeah. The
Prepare
entire
yourselves now.
time. Yeah, do some breathing exercises.
Yes, you
It
really
takes
gotta work
longer
on-
than you think.
Yeah, work on that oxygen level because it does take a little longer than we anticipated.
Yep.
We have to
Holy,
take
that was-
turns. You
yeah.
take a breath, I'll clap, and you take a breath, I'll clap.
It had been a hot minute since I'd seen that curtain go up, and boy, oh boy, did it just get funnier and funnier. And it was like 3 minutes for that thing to get to the ceiling.
Yep.
So, my name is Matt Austin. I'm joined by our podcastronauts. We've got Megan Murphy.
Yeah, it's me. I'm back. I'm always here. I'll never leave.
Yes, that's why we love you. Kristen Pelk Pacheco.
Good evening, everybody. I'm also here. I just wait. Or I sleep. I just sleep here. I'm in this little box waiting for you all to come back.
Then the light comes on. Hey!
It's time. Oh, yeah. Like the monkeys all over again. We're
Exactly.
Oh no. Oh no, we're in a monkey box.
We are in the monkey box. We are the podcastronauts. We are the scum of stars. We are here to talk about the legend of the Stardust Brothers. A film that this is interesting. Did we do this on purpose? I don't remember, because this is now our third of 3 podcasts where it's about the trials and tribulations of
This one is not on purpose.
yeah.
Yeah, we were gonna do 4 accidentally on a row, I think.
Yeah.
But one got the bump for right now. So
Yeah.
One's on pause.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah,
I know
it's on
Spice
ice.
World and Head was on purpose, but I don't remember us having a conversation about Stardust Brothers because I think this got moved and it just happened to
it works.
slot in. Yeah,
It's slotted
hey,
in.
we should stop
and
trying to plan stuff. We should
Yeah.
just not plan because then it works. It's a good lesson for us to learn. Hey, everybody, don't plan anything ever.
That's right.
Not even a
That's
film festival.
No,
The
oh
one
no,
thing to
no,
learn.
it'll happen. It's fine.
Yeah. It'll all be fine. Don't worry. If you don't plan it, then you have nothing to be disappointed about.
Yep.
Hey, passes are on sale now.
Not yet.
Oh no,
Soon.
take it back. Just give me the money.
Yes. If you see any of us on the street, just
Yeah,
throw
just give us the cash.
$110 at us and we'll make sure you can
Oh,
get through
got
the
you.
movies.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a note.
So yeah, this is our third of 3 movies about the trials and tribulations of being a prefabricated band. We started with Spice World, which was kind of the more fun version, I guess. That was the most fun you could have as a prefab band.
Yeah.
And then we had the very angsty Head, the Monkeys' magnum opus, which is kind of the what we thought was the dark mirror image of being the prefabricated band. And then The Legend of the Stardust Brothers, which is a Japanese film that people stayed home in droves for, I think, when it came out, if I recall correctly, as I looked into
They
the
weren't
history
ready.
of this thing. They weren't ready.
They didn't know a masterpiece right in front of them.
Right
And then
there.
it got re-released maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I mean, if you know, I guess is kind of the thing with this one, but it is also the story of kind of the prefabricated band. It's 2 guys put together to become, I guess, pop idols. Is that kind of how it goes? The teen
Yeah.
idols, the 2 Japanese guys, they're out there. They're chosen. One is kind of a crooner, the other one's a punk rocker. They come together to form the Stardust Brothers, the scum of stars, which is maybe my favorite lyric in the whole goddamn movie.
I love it.
And it comes together in a film that it is, I think it's primarily like a collection of music videos with some very tenuous connective tissue in between, which sounds kind of goofy, but they are so stylistically interesting. Scum of Stars is very guar coded. You're right, Celador. That is 100% right. But it's quite the exploration of how pop stardom, celebrity, propaganda, like it's a real deep dive into celebrity culture.
Yeah, you
Sexism.
get like sexism in there.
Yeah.
And all of that,
So.
and then never being famous enough.
Yeah, it's a fun movie though. It's fun. It's fun. I promise it's fun. It's dealing with a lot of stuff, but in a very fun, early MTV aesthetic.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're describing it like it's A Star Is Born, and it really isn't. Like,
no.
It's a musical.
It's a musical. We get an animated section.
Yeah,
like
there's some stop motion. There's creatures.
I keep forgetting about them.
Yeah,
I gotta talk all about like Shingo's multimedia horror breakdown.
We'll get there. Yeah, it was incredible. But so this is directed by Makoto Tezuka, who is the son of legendary manga creator behind Ozaki. And it's Astro Boy. If you're familiar with Astro Boy, that's the director's dad. But he did this all on his own. There was really no tagging into dad.
I read an interview because someone asked him, "Hey, the animated sequence, did your dad was involved?" And he's like, "Nah, he had other things to do," which reads a lot like he wasn't interested.
Completely disinterested.
Yeah, no, it's like he's busy.
Yeah, he didn't want to dip his toe into this. A man who is known as the Walt Disney of Japan in some circles probably maybe didn't want to like put his style on this. That's fair enough.
Yeah, basically, I think that's kind of how it boiled down. Was like, I have a little bit too much prestige for this, but you go ahead and make your thing. I hope he does okay.
It's doing just fine. It just took 40 years.
Took 40 years, right? I think the story was the director ran into the musician that wrote all the music for this. He liked it and wanted to make it into a movie, so here we go.
It was a concept album, which I think going in, if you go, turns out most of these songs were pre-written for a concept and then they made a movie. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. That fits. That fits.
It tracks.
I mean, like, we're telling a story. But I mean, there is a plot. Like, it's happening. Things jump a little bit.
Yeah. It's song to song. It's song to song with a little bit of thread, which is all I need, really.
Yeah, it's kind of the precursor of the modern jukebox musical, except you know the songs in the jukebox musicals, and this one you don't so much, but they're fun. They're good songs.
I know these songs. I love Crazy Game. What a great song.
London Boots.
I love them.
London Boots was great.
Fun. Yeah, that one surprised me. That was like, they both, I mean, I think I was just surprised. I think the first song I was like, okay, this is more standard fare. I don't think it's not bad, but then I was like, oh, okay, we're doing something here. Like,
you start with like a punk and then a new wave. Like, okay, these are your characters: the punk guy and the new wave guy.
Yeah, tale as old as time. You tag together the punk rocker with the new waver.
Yeah.
I'm
already starting. Can is way too tightly wound, I think, for like any sort of lead singer. Like if you're new wave, you're supposed to be cool in that you're cool. He does not know this and he cannot prove it to himself. So he's just like this, like me as he sings.
Oh, is it?
Please like me.
Is it Shingo?
Oh, sorry, I meant Shingo. Yeah. He's like, like me. Where Can's like, I know I'm awesome. Thank you. At no point is he ever shook about how cool he is.
Yeah.
It sincerely makes me wonder how much of this the Mighty Boosh guys saw at any point.
Oh my God. It's the same like friend. Oh my God.
Well, rivalry. They don't become friends until about the end.
Yeah. Like the cool guy and the tightly wound dude.
Yeah. And even
I like
the
this.
look of Can is very close to what Vince Noir's look is for
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
a season or so of
Yeah,
the
the
booth.
hair. I
Yeah.
love the opening number. Cat is continually combing his hair
Playing
the
with his hair.
entire song. Like I was
Yeah.
watching it this time, I'm like, I don't think there's a moment where he stops like combing his hair.
No, it's so
I like
good.
I like when I know it's a little bit ahead, but when they're doing like their montage to get them ready to be idols and they're cutting his hair, I was like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally the same. It's the
Yeah,
same hair.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, there's no
No.
difference.
You don't mess with perfection. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So what? They open. We're following the plot. So
Yeah.
they.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
it opens on that opening song, which is essentially kind of the setting the stage for what the Stardust Brothers are.
Or
Kind of
were.
the or
Yeah.
were.
Or were
Well,
as
well,
important.
we'll get there. It's bookends, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of describing, you know, how it all started. The two guys singing about being the Stardust Brothers in front of a
Unimpressed.
somewhat receptive but mostly not audience,
Also completely in black and white.
Yeah.
which I found really cool. I thought that was a
Yeah.
nice little touch.
It already starts aesthetically interesting where you're like, I'm trying to figure this out. So some sort of like 1940s club. Everything's oh no, then they show up and they're in full color and like shiny suits. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? I'm already like, I don't know what's going on and I like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full on silver lame suits.
Yep.
It's very cool.
It's a great
suits.
intro. They're saying,
Yeah,
hey,
it
we're
is.
the Stardust Brothers. Do you remember us? They're like, it's been 2 years. Do you remember us? Like
and
that.
everyone's
Yeah,
just smoking
yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
I pay for this? Like,
Yeah. And it already it starts that thread of like desperation and
Yeah.
fakeness that
Yep.
is in most of the songs up until a point, which I'll talk about later. But like
Yeah.
all the songs are kind of about like fame, not creation.
Yep.
Do you remember me? Not like I like this song and I want to sing to, you know, convey anything but I'm really cool and I want to be cool and famous.
Yep.
Yeah, the intro song, it always reminds me of the vaudeville, the old vaudeville joke where it's
Yeah.
you know, you
They are
only
doing
play
a bit.
you
Yeah.
only play this club twice in your life, once on the way up and once on the way down. And I just like to say it's so nice to be back.
Yes, that's the energy. Yeah.
It is the exact
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
It's that very like sweaty Vegas style version of these pop idols.
Yep.
And then we kind of go into the flashback of how the Stardust Brothers became the Stardust Brothers.
Yeah.
Which it's essentially they're approached by big fancy music producer
Yep.
Yeah. For
Atomic Records,
Yeah.
telling them that they are both
Don't worry about it.
they're both musical genius. They could be stars within a week, but they have to work together.
Yeah, because they have separate bands and different
Yeah.
styles, and they
Completely.
hate each other. Well,
Oh yeah.
Shingo
they're
hates
rivals.
Ken. Ken
Yeah.
doesn't kind of give a crap, except to push back a little.
Exactly.
Well, and then the thing about Shingo that kind of cracks me up is
Who's this guy?
he is so desperate, and
oh my god.
and so he's beating on his bandmates. And he's like, I'm not doing this for
supercars.
$1,000, and then
Yeah.
the 50,000 like
The
rolls
check just goes.
by.
Oh my god, it was so
Yeah.
good.
I was like,
We
oh,
saw in
yeah.
his head, and it's money and fame.
Money. Yeah.
Oh, I think they established the characters really well here. We get the feeling of like who they are, what their deal is, and like again, how desperate particularly Shingo is for fame. That's what he wants. He wants fame. He wants fame, and money's probably second.
Yeah.
And then third, I'm making a good song. I don't know. It might not be third. It might be farther down.
It's on the list somewhere. Yeah.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
I loved his band's matching outfits with like the sweaters or like the stripes and the white shorts. I'm like, oh, look at them. I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
They're trying real hard.
Yep. They were not bad. They were not bad.
No.
No, they did fine. They deal with this dude all the time.
He's just projecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what? Then that's when we cut to the next day and they're at or whenever they go for the meeting at Atomic Records.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And they don't know where they're going. And then that's when they meet. What's her name?
Marimo.
Marimo.
Yes.
Yeah. who's just trying. She just wants to be a singer. She keeps breaking it,
Yeah.
but apparently, and I don't know how historic this is, that they just weren't interested in a girl singer, because I know there was like women idols. So I don't know if that's supposed to be just this company or is it a historical thing? I don't know, because that's basically what she's told, is that you're a girl, so you can't do this.
And I couldn't get the sense if it was that's just not what they were looking for, or just they had enough women singing, so they weren't into it, or there was no real context to it. But be that as it may, she was offered a position as their fan club manager instead of a performer.
Well,
Yeah,
they
well, I think
negotiate that.
As
Well,
they
first,
negotiated.
we can't forget the goons. Okay.
Oh my
good
god,
point.
these guys.
We
These
love
Yeah.
goons. Yes, we love
Yeah.
goons with style, and there are many
Yeah.
goons in this movie, but
Yeah, and the
just
chock full
the
of
two
goons.
punk goons
Yeah.
with the metal bat, and they get bonked on the head.
They do a lot of bonking. Plus, I love that Can is calling Marimo a turtle, because she's dressed in green and kind of like curled down, and then they shot to a beach where she has a turtle shell, just so we visually understand where he's coming from, I think.
And also, it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Like later.
Well, yeah, we find out she has a superpower. It involves being a ball.
Yes.
And she Katamari's
More-
herself at a certain point.
More
It's
than-
amazing.
and twice she does.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was like, why didn't we know this before? But I like that because that kind of sets it up. She does kind of go into a defensive ball.
Yep, that did crack me up. And then
But I like-
that's
Yeah,
Gamera.
she's Gamera. Yeah.
and then that's when they go into the meeting and they bring her with them. Like,
Yeah, they also, you can tell they both kind of like her, like both like, oh, like she has cool energy and she's been in this building before, but also like,
she's
oh.
cute.
And also, oh, yeah, they're both like, uh-oh. There's a little bit of heart eyes going on.
Yes.
That won't be a problem later.
Not
It
at
never
all.
is.
Never. No.
No jealousy here.
No. We can't just have thruples. So that's they go into the meeting with the executive.
Oh my God. I love him so much. He's so cool. Cause oh God, did I write down his name? Because that guy is an actual like Japanese crooner. Like that guy is very well known. Like they cast him specifically because like, oh no God, the sideburns. Like if you look at album covers of his of that certain time, it's just all like sideburns and lighting. Oh my God.
I was looking up, and he's my boy from House.
Oh yeah.
He is? Okay. Kihiko Ozaki.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I love everything
he's the
about him in
boyfriend
this film.
House. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta go back. Okay, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch that because I'm like, look at him. That's my boy. I love because he's got the glass. He looks a little like Jim Jones if Jim Jones were at a record
Yes.
company, which I'm like,
Yeah.
that's gotta be on purpose, right?
Which,
All white suit, these mirror glasses, which are amazing.
Yep.
Slick hair. As I said, sideburns, very important. Power burns.
Yes. Yep.
And he's just mysterious because like his eyes are always covered. He only reflects you. He's in a desk with like a bright triangle behind him.
Yeah, he's like behind. Yeah.
Oh, it's so
cool.
good. It's such a great visual. Like, oh, this guy's
No joke.
this guy's the guy. He's no joke. Yeah.
almost put you in the mind of Swan from Phantom of the Paradise a little bit.
Yeah. A lot. You know, I love my swans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of
Yes.
course, signing a contract with this guy I'm sure is fine. Like
Of course.
visually, it doesn't look terrifying or a bad idea at all.
No,
No,
it'll work out
but-
fine.
Yeah, basically what they negotiate the terms. Khan tries to tries to get Marimo,
Marimo, yeah.
like a deal. Tries to bring his band. So I think that also helps paint a better picture of like who he is. Like
Khan's always
a little bit more
connected.
compassionate.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Plus, I love it. So the most important part about what they're agreeing to is they have to work together, but not just that. There's a story of them. They are now to play twins whose father was a pop idol. And it's important for the story. Like that's what he says. He's like, you have to be these characters. You will be long lost brothers brought together. That's what we're gonna sell. That's who the Stardust Brothers are. And it's just made up. It's just a made up story, y'all.
Yep.
Made up. It's just fantasy.
Fantasy. Yep.
Yeah.
It's not real. This one
not
back,
real.
y'all.
No.
No, it won't be
It's
a
not a
problem ever.
desperate attempt at atonement by somebody.
Right.
Not at all. Okay,
And then they go right into that montage of.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, because then I think things get fuzzy for me in the order with which they occur. But I was laughing because I'm
Fair.
like, oh, okay, yeah, it's your typical montage until it's not, and then they literally have
No,
them
it's
acting like
not!
dogs. Like,
Yeah.
They're just carrying them. They're circus animals at one point.
Mhm.
yeah, jumping through hoops. They have them. One of them is barking like on his hands and knees. I'm like, oh
Well,
yeah,
I believe they're told you will be stars in a week, and this
Yes.
company is not joking, and and the movie is not being subtle about manufacturing. They are being manufactured. They have no voice in this montage. They are just put through one room, another room. Photos are taken. They're trained. They're told this is the music you're playing. They're just slotted in, and that's the price of this fame.
Yep.
Is we're making you. But Marimo's there, and she's like, I've been doing like fan stuff for 7 years, and she is there. She knows the power of fans, and she's like handing out flyers and getting all the youth. I love her because she's like, okay, well, I guess if I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
yep.
Strongest street team in the game for Marimo. Like she's out there throwing the flyers
She's
out.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets a gear made. She's got like the shirt right with that
She's got
on
the
it.
shirt. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious business.
Yeah. And
She's
what I
all over it.
appreciate, they established about her characters. She's not doing this because she thinks this is the road to her singing.
No.
She would like to, but they established several times like, oh no, like I'm taking this seriously. I will be your number one fan. I'd like to sing, but I'm not sure if I can sing. And like as we go later on, it takes a surprise, like an accidental moment to get her to happen, to get her to sing. So I think they established that she's the character right now who loves the music for the music, which you need that to compare to everybody else at this point.
Right. You need that baseline that kind of this is the purest form of fandom, is that you're in it for the music and also for Shingo and Khan as people.
Yeah, she genuinely cares. Yeah,
you need that baseline, and then it all goes sideways.
Of course, because it's the system.
Right.
So is it they get super famous at this point, right?
Yep.
And then given into that hedonistic lifestyle.
Yeah.
Big time. And then is this where the nightmare fuel comes in?
I think a little bit, because we see that Kan is buying into it a little bit, but not as heavy as Shingo, who, because of his self-esteem issues, and he starts seeing that, I think Marimo might can better. So that's eating at him. So then he goes like that next level hedonism. He sees that like woman who I'm trying to figure out is if she's real. Because I'm trying to figure out if she is visual manifestation of him going, well, I guess I have to be this mess now.
Should the American woman stay away from me?
Yeah. Right? Because she never talks and nobody else seems to interact with her.
And honestly, she looked like Priscilla Presley to me. So I felt like that was kind of where that
made
was.
Himself a woman.
Because he was living that
head.
whole Elvis fantasy where he's in like the hotel suites and even those terrible little cigars he's smoking, those were the Elvis cigars. Like that was the whole
Yeah. I like how there's both full booze bottles and those tiny little travel ones and a couple fake marble busts and like a leopard's print skin like rug. The whole deal. It was hedonism in a room.
Yep. It was the absolute perfect encapsulation of everything you'd think of in a medium-sized rock star.
And we got shots of like during that montage of Marimo kind of pulling away a little. She's seeing them be taken by the fame instead of the music. And I'm like, look at her face. She's so sad. She does sad face so
dreams.
well.
Yeah, you're crushing her dreams.
I'm going to cry looking at her face.
Yeah. She's just so disappointed in them.
Yeah. But that's when he's in the hedonism room with the American woman when he's all like, I'm going to tell you a secret, which is something we need to know later, that his heart is on the right side, right? He's trying to be, I'm special. And he considers that the thing that makes a thing that makes him special. But then whatever substances he's been putting in his body, all bloom. So when he goes to kiss this woman who might not be real, her face splits open and then it's just a brain with a pair of lips. And boom, we are in maybe the wildest part of this movie.
It is.
To be sure, the wildest part of the movie. It's about 20 minutes of just an absolute psychedelic nightmare.
Yep.
Just like he's got
Of
like he gets
course,
fans,
Trip.
but they're zombies and they're tearing apart. And he's picturing Marimo and Khan like as like enemies, as terrifying, as trying to eat him, as trying to like take him apart. We're really seeing inside his head, and it's ugly.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. Skin slip was so fucking high during that part. Oh no, I'm
My
sorry. That's
condolences,
too much.
because that
Good.
part where like they literally
Yeah.
go into the mouth. And then
Oh
it's
my
like,
God, they
it's
built
like the
that.
tongue, yeah, and then it's like the face sucker thing like pops up out of the throat, and I was like, no.
It
I
just keeps
just
happening.
watched Aliens over the weekend. I don't need this.
Oh no. And then we see that whole animated part where now he's anime for a little bit.
Yeah, that
it's-
part was. I like that part. It was.
that was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
The anime / aha take on me kind of sketchy. That was
Yes.
really
Yeah. I mean, I love that part. It is freaky as hell in the best way, because you're like, oh, this is, like, oh, I see. They're about to fall apart.
Mhm.
This is not sustainable. Fame, turns out fame probably isn't healthy for him. And yet that's all he's ever wanted.
Well, you have no support system, right? Because I
Right.
mean, you have Marimo there, but he still doesn't like him and Khan do not like each other.
Yeah. They
no,
haven't.
they're
He's
barely
alone with
working
his
together.
thoughts, which is the most dangerous thing for Shingo to be.
Yes, 100%.
But what I like is we're seeing the start of their like the breakup, which is about to happen. But there's also
Yeah.
something else that is going to be a pressure point, because so they're doing a great job of themselves, kind of like falling from the top. But also you see that's when the government officials come to meet with the record head and are basically like, hey, the government, like, we know how powerful pop culture and music is, and we could really use some support for, the support for the prime minister.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're like, and these guys are a little like, they're not, we want peace and love, which cracks me up. We want people to think about peace and love. And it just so happens. It's so weird. But like the prime minister's son is kind of a musician. And, maybe perhaps, like he's what we're looking for. If you want to like, take him on, with this big briefcase of like money and power, it's just so weird. It's a coincidence. It's a coincidence that the prime minister has a son who wants to be a musician.
Wants to be the big pop idol. So yeah, he ends up kind of
buying his way in.
Buying his way in and becoming the most ersatz David Bowie in the process.
Oh my God. I'm like, is this supposed to be? Oh, it's absolutely just David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
Like aesthetically, it's great.
It's thin white Duke David Bowie. It's terrible.
Yeah, I tried to queue up because most of these people were musicians, so I tried to queue up most of their songs, and I queued up one of his, and I was like, no, this is not for me. I don't know what it was, but it was not for me.
Well, I love in the movie, right before this, they're having that song where it's just like all three of our main characters kind of frolicking, I guess, enjoying the fame, but the whole song, the lyrics are about once you reach number one, you just go down.
Yeah.
And how you just sing the same song forever. Another one of those, like the music's poppy, but the lyrics are all like, this is all fake. This is manufactured. This is garbage. This is So again, like every song up so far has been like, sounds fun, but it's like, we're miserable. This is unsustainable. This is a bad system.
Yeah.
So now we're reaching that point of the big concert, and Shingo is out of it because he just had a drug-induced freak out.
He went through that whole OD situation, which turns into a musical number of trying to get him revived.
I kind of like that because you have like the
more goons, the suited goons now.
Suited goons.
The record label executive and the goons just trying to like literally shake him, pill him, put him together to just push him. Yeah.
The bucket of water on him.
Oh my God.
The drugs that he has there.
Yeah. They're just that classic, like you just gotta go on stage. And I like how we see a little of Khan where he's like, he's talking to Marimo and he's all like, I don't need him, right? But even though he's susceptible to that too, we later see he's like, I can't go on without him. Like again, you see that he isn't as tied to the fame thing, but like it gets him a little sometimes.
Yeah.
But like they're at the point where he's like, he's not here and I can't go on without him. So then he's like, Marimo, you have to go on.
Yep.
This is her Phoenix moment. This is
Yes.
her Phoenix moment from Phantom of the Paradise where, oh crap, you go out there. And it's because Ken like does believe in her and
Yeah.
He wants that for her. And then she goes out, and it's the first, I think, song that actually means something. That it's the first like song from the heart that we've had in this entire musical, because she cares. It's a nice love song about like, if you open the door in my heart, we'll be together. Like, know me, And I was like, there we go. It's like she's like the true music. If we're talking about like authenticity, she's doing it for the love. She's doing that to help them out on the stage. And this is a song that she's had because she's just, she's Marimo. She's the authentic one in this film.
Yep.
And it's like a sweet, like kind of star moment.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And it really is that Phoenix moment, because she sings it and absolutely connects with the audience in a way that you haven't really seen.
Yeah. It's
with
a
the
real
Stardust
reaction.
Brothers. There's real reaction
it's a real
instead
reaction.
of just the idol reaction that you got from the Stardust Brothers performances.
Yeah, I really like how that moment hits. And I love Cadge trying to stop Shingo, who showed up at this point, drugged out of his mind, from like climbing onto the stage. He's like, no. And Shingo punches Cad out.
It knocks him out.
It clocks him in the staircase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Knocks him out in the stairwell going to the stage.
Yep.
Because Shingo's like, it's my moment to shine, baby. I'll do a new number.
Staggers past Marimo at the wings.
Yeah.
Who just crushed it.
Absolutely destroyed. And then crawls out on the stage.
Yep. Sees the woman no one else sees, who's encouraging him to, you should do your new number. He can tell.
Yeah.
And then he just this song about like it's like no love and there's no connection and things a lot, as he starts to strip on stage to the point of just mooning the audience.
Which is interesting because it mirrors a little bit the first performance, because he like rips the shirt off.
When
we first meet him. But I was like, he's not gonna take his pants off, is he? And then he's like, no, he took his pants off. I was like, oh no.
Oh yeah. This is a full breakdown, and now in public.
Yep. Right after we've heard, they're dangerous. We don't want them out there.
Yeah, they really helped. I don't know if they would have hung on longer because knowing what we know now about the record executive. And but at this point they can't. The next shot is them, it's in like sepia tone. And they're like on a corner and they only have one cigarette between them.
They break it.
It was
and
a
gives
quick
them
fall.
a choice between
He gives him the no filter part.
Filter versus
I noticed
no
that.
filter.
I noticed that. Here you go, buddy. You deserve this.
Yeah, it definitely tells you the
filter
kind
for
of person Khan is, that he gave away the no filter piece to the other guy.
Yeah.
Here you go, Shingo. Here's more for you.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? You need it, buddy. It still won't be enough.
Khan's still selfless in this moment.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we see the rise of Karu.
Yes.
Our David Bowie. Here's the
Nut
worst
job.
part. I love Peace Mark Baby as a song. And I love, it's great. It's a bop. And I just love that they said like, oh, hey, I'm all about love.
Yeah.
And then instantly like, oh no, turns out he's a maniac.
He is an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, I just love that. I just love that, like that back into, it's all about peace and love. And of course showing this is with the government and this is him and it's all bullshit.
And just what is he smoking a cigar and he's drinking? Is that the part where he's doing that?
Yeah,
and then he's like roughing up the handler.
Yeah, he's showing his true color, and then his true colors, and then like one of the people who working on set's like, "Hey, how are you going?" He's like, "Oh, hey, I can't wait to work with you again. I love you, buddy." Door closes. He's roughing the dude up again.
He's like, "Give me that cigar back."
Yeah, he pops the cigar in the handler's mouth so nobody sees him smoking.
He would never. Yeah. And they're kind of, I think, establishing again that like he and Marimo, who's now got some fame, they are teen idols. They are kind of for teens, so they have to be clean. They have to be like
as clean and chaste as possible.
Yeah, another like false thing in this like manufacturing factory is like, okay, you're this kind of person, and that's it, and that's what you're gonna be. He doesn't like it because again, total psychopath. He's like, I need a woman, and then he's like,
he wants to create this scandal. I don't understand specifically what the scandal is. Is that they're dating each other, basically?
Yeah, he's trying to subvert
that like that you don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
By going, it'd be scandalous if they were dating because they're supposed to just be for
'Cause
the fans.
Yeah, and his popularity plateaued, and he wanted to be more famous.
Yeah,
That was kind of the driving
Yeah.
factor there.
This was the
Because-
entire reason. Not that he's not famous. He just thinks he can get more famous.
Because Marimo at that point was more popular than he was.
Yeah,
so he was trying
and
to knock her off by getting her
sabotage her.
together with the handler, so he
Yeah.
could get ahead. Because if she's got a boyfriend, then she's not chaste,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then we lose our fans.
Yeah.
So evil. So
they
evil.
had been surveilling them, right? Because we
Mhm.
see we kind of skipped over that part because they're all
Yeah.
when Khan and Shingo are having their moment, they're sitting on the stoop, right? And it's
Yeah.
her stoop.
Yeah, I love that. She's
Yeah.
what are you guys doing here?
Oh yeah, and they actually this is when they become friends and have their heart to
Yeah.
heart, literally.
And they're like,
Yeah.
and they're like, we're gonna start anew. We're
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
this the right way.
yes, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I'm cheering you on. Let's do it together." And I was like, "Yes."
But then there's a camera, and you're like, where is this camera? They can surveil you from everywhere because we see that they are being watched, but they're outside on a stoop.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
just sitting out in front of their house.
It's
There's
like
too
person
much
of interest.
power.
Yeah.
Oh my god, exactly. Except for 1980 something.
Yeah.
But I like that because it doesn't have to make sense. It's just supposed to be because we have this combination of like capitalism and the government and all of this. Like, oh yeah, they can watch you wherever you are. There's probably a pigeon with a camera in their eye.
Exactly.
That's the answer in my head.
right.
Oh wait, we almost skipped a part I like just visually because
Yes.
you have that like Shingo and Khan have been like doing smaller clubs, and they do that club that where it is raining the entire time, and everyone who's at the club has an umbrella except the band, except for
And
them.
they don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're singing about issues, about
Mhm.
gasoline raining from the sky. And I was like, yeah, they're like getting back in touch with like it feels like they're actually doing a song that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
In like the crappiest club, though, here's the thing. I would totally go to that rain club.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got a
for
little
sure.
umbrella. All the waiters have the umbrellas with the drinks. It's amazing. I'd be afraid of like apparently it is electric equipment on stage, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. So
Which is surprising because if anybody remembers Tom York on that MTV Spring Break where he almost killed himself when it was raining outside the
Oh.
pool there.
yeah, well, that because this is a movie, Tom. That was real life, buddy. I love that part because it's
Yeah.
showing that they were starting to do that work, like kind of trying to maybe
Yeah.
find their actual voice. In fact, the interesting thing is Shingo isn't singing at all,
Yeah. He's
and he
playing
always
guitar,
sees
right?
himself as the lead singer. He
That's right.
let Can do it, which I
let
thought
Khan
was a
do
really
it.
nice sign too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Khan
Like,
fully
okay, the
embracing his
boys are
punk rock
getting-
roots.
yeah. Like look at them, they're maturing. Look at them.
Yep.
Look at our boys
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
And then the interview.
Yes, I was getting worried.
Right.
They had me
Yeah.
sweating. I was like,
Yeah,
"No, don't hurt my
Mm.
girl." Like,
Yeah, because that lackey sets up like, okay, I guess I gotta help set this like gossip thing up, and he sets Marima up
Oh.
like it's an interview.
the only other thing we forgot too
Oh.
is when
Oh,
he's
no.
smoking and drinking, he like has a seizure.
He has that weird seizure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they say like, "Oh, don't do that. Like, don't give into excess or whatever. You
Slow
should stop
down."
drinking." Yeah,
yeah,
and then because it ends up being a thing during the interview.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it's not an interview. She goes into the room and there's fake David Bowie on the bed
being a
drinking.
sleazeball.
being a sleazeball. He's all in like black, with like his hair is just getting wilder. In
Yeah.
fact, he starts looking like some sort of weird warlock vampire
I was gonna say,
as it
real,
goes
real
on.
Nosferatu vibes. as you
Yeah,
go
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. Like the
So you're like,
Klaus Kinski
oh, no.
Nosferatu pops up.
Yeah.
It's because when he's having, and I might have to go back, when he's having the seizure the day before, his face turns whiter.
Yeah.
And then when
You know,
he
you're-
pops back up, it
You're
goes
right.
back to normal. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's probably him turning. I was like, oh, he's an addict. So that's what you're
Yeah.
Mhm.
showing.
Or maybe also a vampire. Who knows?
Okay,
Could also be.
Lostos. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, poor
Right.
Nolos does. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're like, oh no, he's gonna do something to Marima. We're very
yeah, he's gonna hurt
concerned.
her. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look at, I love her. She pulls the sheet when he's up on the bed, knocks him on his ass,
Yep.
and then takes off. And that's only the first time we see her with her special power, which when she's falling down some stairs, she turns into a ball.
Yep.
Like a
That
was-
literal ball.
Yep.
Did everybody else go, wait, what?
Yep,
Yeah,
I was
oh,
like,
yeah.
the turtle powers have come back. That's
Yeah.
I was so concerned for her. I'm like, oh, good, she's escaping. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And I was like,
I went back and
"Yay!"
I rewound it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that's when because Shingo and Connor are looking for her. In
Right.
fact, they encountered the goons at the record.
Raccoons again.
Yeah, and got it
Welcome
out
skull.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of like again, yeah, like where is she? So he told them. So they're there and they're like they're gonna rescue her. So that's the start of a very long, I think 3-song car chase.
Well, we
Yeah,
get them on foot first, right? And then
right,
they
it's
get
a-
in the
it's
car.
a full chase. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you don't say no to fake David Bowie, and he's got a car full of goons, and they're all
Yeah.
dressed the same style.
Yes.
And he's in full, like at this point, his hair is wild, his face is gaunt, and like has like the dark makeup under his cheeks. He's got like a black cloak on.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks insane at this
Yep.
point.
Yeah.
It's just completely silent movie villain.
Yeah, but our 3 protagonists are together again, and they're like, "Nuh-uh, this is gonna happen, not on our watch."
And they're having fun in the car chase. Don't
Yeah.
they? You think they get away and they're like waving bye-bye,
It's
and then they're like
it's
even
wacky.
playing cards. There's
Yeah.
a part where
Yeah.
she's playing cards, I think, with Shingo. It's like, what is happening?
It reminded me of a Young Ones episode.
Yes, it had a very
Because
much
it had
that same vibe.
wacky, like we're running away, but also silly stuff's happening. And of course, we
Yeah.
finally get them like when they're hiding in the store window with the bridal stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like, we're mannequins. Ah, no, we're not. We escaped. But then you
Yes.
also, I guess, thematically, these 3 people, because you have 2 brides and a groom, or at least 2 suits and a dress, and they are in those for like a good chunk of the end, where you're like, these 3 are together in some sort of relationship that they probably can never figure out, but
Yeah.
they are a unit.
Yes.
I like that. Like they are a unit. Whatever's going on is going on. And then, my favorite
Caught up.
song,
Yeah.
Crazy Game comes on, which is one of my favorite ones. But that's when they get in the car and they push that button.
Yep.
Yeah, and at the same time is when the record executive is being brought in by the government people to the office of the prime minister, whose chair is turned around. His chair's turned around. This is very important. You don't see him right now. And they're basically like, listen, this is working great. Would you like to be almost like a part of the government, another arm of the government? They're basically offering him money and power to produce the music that they need him to. Because, oh God, governments are kind of icky, right? Who would do that? Who would do that? And then the chair turns around. Was none of us, and we're all like, who's going to say it? Would you like to know who the prime minister of Japan
who's the
is
prime minister?
in this movie?
Woo!
It's a melted Hitler. It is a terrifying latex
Yep.
mask. I don't think it's supposed to be a mask. It's supposed to be his face. Hey, everybody, Hitler's back, and he's in the music production now.
It tracks.
Though it's at that point, I feel like our music executive's like, oh wait a second, like you see a little bit like,
Uh-huh.
He's like, I've made a mistake.
this might have gone too far.
Oh,
And
wait.
it's just at that moment, yeah. And at that moment, apparently hitting the button in that car opens up a portal into this very office under the desk, because all of a sudden out pops Shingo and
Marimo.
Kai
Yeah.
and and Marimo, and then everybody else that was in the other car and Karu, everybody's in this room now. And then Karu goes, Dad, yes, our fake David Bowie's dad is Hitler. This is important knowledge.
Which everything now tracks. Everything makes
Yes.
sense now.
Everything
because,
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now this room is full of people. I do not know where some of these people, there were clowns in there. There were dancers in there.
Yeah.
And there's a musical number going on. And it's chaos. It's chaos in there.
Yes.
But of course, Karu is angry because this has not happened the way he wanted to. And he has a gun.
Right.
Yes.
And he's going to shoot somebody. And at first, and
Mm.
they're like, oh no, it's Shingo in his full bridal dress.
In the full bridal dress.
He's going to take him out. And you hear like a bang. And you have a look on Shingo's face like something horrible happened. And you look back and everyone's going, oh, shoot, oh no. And then you look again. And there's the record executive in front of Shingo with his all white suit with a spot of blood on the
right
right
hand.
side of his chest. Yes.
But he should be fine. He was shot on the right side.
Yeah, Marimo, he's down, and Marimo's like, he's on the right, it'll be fine. And then that look comes over his face. And then you get a look on, because, we forgot that Can was like, oh, yeah, because he was talking to Shingo. He's like, yeah,
When they
I
had
was
their heart to
abandoned.
heart.
And and we both have our hearts on the right side. It's not that weird.
Yeah.
So then you start getting that, wait a second. They were both abandoned. And they all have their heart on the right side. And then, okay, this might be my favorite part of this film.
This is wild.
Yes! Is our record executive gets up. And as he is dying, and his suit is becoming more and more red, he sings a ballad about how he used to be a pop idol. And he loved unfairly and had to abandon his 2 twin sons.
What a twist.
What? And then he's like,
Who
this
could it
was
be?
my atonement. As he's ascending white stairs with dancers on the side, literally like going to heaven in a way.
Yes.
And it's just this ballad. It's just like sad ballad, but it's a power ballad. And he's singing the hell out of it. And now the Stardust Brothers, they really are brothers and they know it. And he drops dead. It's the best moment of the film.
Resolution.
I love it. Every time I'm like, this is the best part of this film.
Yeah.
Going up the stairs the entire time and he's singing this song. Oh, and the best, he takes off his glasses. So now we can see his eyes. We can see his soul.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah. He loves his sons more than money or power, it turns out. He just wanted them to be able to taste what he tasted.
To have the success he had. Yeah.
Yeah, then dead.
And that was it.
And then it goes right back to like no resolution there. Yeah, it goes right back to the stage show that the Stardust Brothers are doing at the weird black and white club.
Yep.
And then
because they say this is weird, right?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, so there's no resolution, and then they say as if almost to write their own story, because they're still interested in being stars, which is super interesting to me. Because they've gone through this whole thing, and they literally, I forget which one says it, like, well, maybe Karu is still angry at us and is seeking revenge. And I don't know if that was true before they said it, because it feels like they're trying to write a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because then,
mm-hmm.
and then, because then after that, all of a sudden, Cat gets shot, and he falls back, and Shingo thinks it's a joke, but it's not. And then he stands up and he gets shot.
And then
it's almost like they're trying to make legends
of each other. Yeah.
And you see that he has a vision of like Marimo and Khan driving off together, because it's kind of intimated that they got together and he's okay with it now. But he's walking, and then Shingo's like, I'll be in the stars, and he's walking off into the stars. Hard cut to their bodies dead on the stage. And the first time this audience has reacted, and they applaud.
And they react so positively.
It's like, finally, these two guys are shutting up.
Yeah, and I was like, there we go. It's almost like they had to make a legend. That's the legend of the Stardust Brothers. They had to end it on a legend, which is them getting shot.
Which is them,
Yeah, which I think is a statement.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, I think they put that possibility out there. Like, oh, this is a loose end. Maybe this is what happens, and people will talk about us forever.
Yep.
Because that fame came back again. They kept saying they were going to do small clubs and do it, but it sounds like the fame bug got them in the end, because they didn't have to. They never had to go on that stage and talk about being the Stardust Brothers. But they did. You know, they were almost free, and then,
that was it.
It gets you. Yeah.
Yep. And that is the legend of the Stardust Brothers.
What a wild movie.
I love it. I love the aesthetics of it. I love that it's subtlety is for cowards, as we mentioned before we started.
Before we got on, we had that conversation about Garth Marenghi. Is that subtext is for cowards. I only operate in text.
Yeah,
and that is exactly what this movie is. If you want to know what maximalism looks like in a film, that's this.
Yep.
But like low budget maximalism, like you could tell that they were doing the best with what they had, and I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's very much in that same range of like Forbidden Zone and all those kind of like new wave. I'm trying to remember the other one, the Russian. It doesn't matter, but it's like a Russian new wavy kind of thing, and it's got the same vibe to it.
Let's put on a show. It has a lot of that energy.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you can really see, I guess a lot for me is I can see the Phantom of the Paradise influence.
God, yeah.
Literally the musician said that was one of his inspirations. And I'm like, you show these together, it's like kind of the same story.
Yeah, there's a definite
You
through
know?
line between them, for sure.
The Stardust Brothers are Winslow Leach
They really are.
together.
We get 2 for 1.
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
So-
But like that same idea of fame will bite you. You think you want it, but if your whole idea is like fame and not music and not creating something, but being a thing, and then you
Right.
let somebody else create the thing you're going to be, there's not a happy ending there.
Yep.
People are like, it'll be what the audience wants. And sometimes what the audience wants is you shot dead.
Yeah. And that's the echo with the last episode with Head. They couldn't get out of that same loop. They're just toys on a shelf to be used for something else another time. So those are your options. You're just,
they're in a monkey box being put back in by Victor Mature.
exactly. You're either eternally just being played out like an action figure on a stage, or you're shot dead because you've outlived your usefulness.
Or you Spice Girls it, and then like everything's okay. They have a good
break
concert.
the
It's
fourth
fine.
wall, and you just are like, hey, we had a good time. Stop making out in front of the movie theater, and I'll see you when I see you. Like,
it's funny how they went with listen to Spice. We're not here. We cannot be the people who have the message of it's all fake and it's horrible. We're the Spice Girls, okay? That's not our strength, and that's okay. I needed them to be like, sometimes it's okay, and then you break up, and then you marry rich, and then it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, the Spice Girls method of, we're not here for a long time. We're just here for a good time, and then we'll punch out.
Yeah, maybe that's partly it. They're like, we did our thing, and then we were done.
Yeah.
And then you will
we're not
us
trying to
for 20, 30 years. Like,
exactly.
We'll see each other every once in a while. It's fine. One of us is so rich, she needs none of us ever again.
Yeah.
So that kind of stops that.
That's the end of it. And for Stardust Brothers and the Monkeys, it was, we're going to do this forever. If it's state fairs or if it's, it's small clubs until we die.
No.
And
did we get more depressing as we went through these movies? Did we end on the one with the most depressing ending?
I
think the last two have
I think it's arguable.
Yeah.
I think it's arguable. Because I here's the philosophical question for you.
Okay.
What's worse? Is it dying on stage doing what you ostensibly want to be doing? Or is it running away from a thing that you don't want to be doing, but forced back into it over and over again for eternity?
Over and over again. Yeah, you sold me on Monkey's Hell.
Yeah.
Well, also literally, like, if I'm just saying how I feel after the end of each movie, like I'm kind of sitting quiet after Head.
Yeah.
Like going, oh shit. Or Stardust Brothers, I'm still listening to the music at the end. I'm like, you know what? That was a fun ride. Marino's still out there making her music.
Still doing her thing.
Like, it's
one
fine.
who truly loved music is still making it.
Right. And that's I think exactly it, KP. Go ahead, because that's a really good point to make.
Yeah, because she's still out there. Like, even then, they're like, oh, she's in her hometown. Like, I get the feeling that they're together, but also that, like, she kind of left him, maybe? Because it's like,
she's not here.
She's not with them, right?
Yeah.
So,
good for
she
her.
remained true to herself, and they're still then hopefully being happy and successful.
Yeah.
While they are still, like Megan was saying, they still desperately chose fame, and so this is all that they can get, and that's so depressing.
Yeah, I keep going, God, they're just trying to get a reaction out of this audience, and they've already been through this once.
And they were literally like, when they were in the audience, like, touching them.
Yeah,
there's like the part where they like break into and like are trying to shake them to get a reaction out of them.
And nothing.
Shameful.
Yeah.
So.
Stardust Brothers. Good God.
I guess they are more dust than star.
Yeah. There it is.
They bit the dust there at the end.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Yeah. Everything we've said about it, I think we did a good job, but it still doesn't do justice to sitting and watching it because it is such a visual feast. Thank you. It's just such a wild experience to sit and watch how it's actually portrayed on the screen, because it really, I know I say it a lot on this show. We've done, I don't know how many of these, and I'm like, you can see every dollar on screen, but this is one of those where it's like, they didn't have a lot of budget, but it is absolutely one of the most like surrealist, super poppy maximalist things for barely any money. And, as you go through and look at the reviews and things like that for this, a lot of people are like, well, it's kind of amateurish. The acting's not great, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but yeah, that's kind of the charm of it at the same time.
It's a shaggy film. I'll never say it's like it's not a clean, efficient story, but it is not trying to be. It is. I think it's being exactly what it wants to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So highly recommend Legend of Stardust Brothers. It is available on Tubi.
Iconic.
It's the answer to everything. It's probably on Tubi.
That's more often than not in my house when somebody hears the Tubi chime as you go in, that little jingle.
Yep,
that exact thing.
Has anyone checked to see if London After Midnight might just actually be on Tubi and no one checked?
It very well might be. We'll have to check after.
Turns out all the lost classics are just there.
Yeah. London After Midnight, all those Doctor Who episodes.
Yeah. Just shit.
Hiding in the back there under.
Yeah.
Their categories are fun. I was looking at those yesterday when I was filtering through.
They're wild. I'm like, also part of me feels like, what do you think I watch? Why are you recommending some of this stuff? I'm taking it Actually, though. Okay, that is going on my watch list.
Yeah, you're like, okay, fine.
All right, you got me. You got me, but
yeah, it's bad getting caught in 4K as you're going through that, and you're like, what is this algorithm? Why are you recommending? Oh yeah, no, this is all the stuff I'm gonna watch.
I got seen real like in 4K. Yeah, I got seen.
Yeah, no, I see why 4K, all the serious movies.
It's more if it's Tubi, it's probably recorded off of a VHS tape.
VHS rip for sure. Yeah. There might be a couple minutes missing out of the middle of it. Yeah. It'll flash tracking 45 minutes in.
The camera gets knocked over.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Part of the charm.
We're gonna enjoy it as long as it is what it is. I'm sure eventually it'll be cleansed and all the edges filed off. But until then, woohoo! Pew pew Wild West Tubi.
Yes.
Nothing stays gold forever, but enjoy it while you can, because there's so much good stuff on Tubi that I guess can we make that our universal recommendation for this week?
I'll type it right here.
God, there's so much good stuff.
Cherish Tubi while we can.
Yeah.
Yes.
I found a thread on Twitter earlier today where they just list out where all the old canon movies are screening on streaming.
It's all like Tubi.
And
Tubi.
3/4 of them are on Tubi. So like it's such a repository for all the stuff that you dig around video stores for. It's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tubi. Thank you for making this job a lot easier.
So much easier. Yep.
And filling multiple hours when we all have to fold laundry.
Yeah, I'm like, hush, I think I'll just turn it. Yeah.
Let me just do this over here. Don't mind me.
We did it.
We
did it, guys. We did great.
We did it. Legend of the Stardust Brothers. There's one more legend to talk about. It's the Legend of the Anomaly Film Festival. It's coming up November 6th through the 10th this year at the Little Theater in Rochester, New York. AnomalyFilmFest.com, Anomaly Film Fest on all the socials. I think this will come out right before the deadline to submit. Check us out on Film Freeway if you are a filmmaker and you want to.
It's August 31st. That's our last deadline on there.
So if you're hearing this after August 31st, 2024, you're SOL unless this is into next year's season. But we're on Film Freeway and we would love to see what you're making. Please submit and we will take a look at it and maybe you'll make this year's festival. It's anomalyfilmfest.com on everything that's important. We've been the Podcastronauts. You've been amazing. Thank you very much for listening and we will see you again later at the movies, I guess. We'll steal Ebert's on that one.
This has been a presentation of the Lunchador Podcast Network.